Welcome back. Today's video, we're going to have a little Q&A. You're going to want to watch these videos until the end. I'm telling you, this is a great conversation. Tune in. What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Jasmine Tamia.
I'm Mike Brown.
And we are
The Browns.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be alerted the next time that we drop a video, because you're not going to want to miss it. This one's going to be fun. Why are you laughing like that?
We got some random questions.
Questions are fun. Hey, if you have any questions, you can shoot me or Michael an email. My email is speaklife24@gmail.com.
And my email is lovingthehomeless@yahoo.com. Just the way it sounds.
Loving the homeless. So shoot us an email if there's like a burning topic that you're just like, hey, can you guys talk about that? Or if you have any questions. And I love questions. It gets us, flowing and able to converse about some stuff that maybe we normally wouldn't think about. But I got a few good questions that I wanted to talk about. So we normally open up in prayer. I don't want to say I don't think we need to pray. We've already prayed, but do we need to pray about this? I think we can just go into the questions, babe. What do you think? We're just going to go into the questions today. So the first question by an anonymous person, they asked, well, I guess I can't say they. She asked, how do you get your husband to help you to do things around the house? She said he works very hard and does not do anything around the house, and she's just tired and she feels like she's doing everything. She needs some help. She does tell him thank you when he does do things around the house, and she just lets him know how much she appreciates him, but she's feeling overwhelmed. And what does she do? Now, let's stop here. We are not giving marital advice. Talk to your pastor, your leader, whoever it is that you talk to. We are simply sharing from experiences that we have had personally in our lives. I can answer the question. I'm reading the questions because I got them here.
Me personally, I believe I support my wife. I do support my wife. And to sit back and watch my wife do all the cooking and all the cleaning, and my wife does cook a lot. I do cook from time to time, but if she is cooking, I'll go wash the dishes, or if she is cooking, I'll get on the kids and make them wash the dishes, I'll make sure I let them know sometimes, hey, if my wife or if I'm cooking, y'all need to be the ones washing the dishes, to show my wife that support there, or to say make the bed up. I think it's a heart posture as well too. I don't want to see my wife do everything. She works just like I work, so it would not be fair for her to have to work 8 hours a day as I work 8 hours a day as well, and then for her to finish that, then to cook and do all the cleaning as well too. So that's just not fair to her, So that's my take on that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be real. I told my husband I feel like it's either two different things for me. So if you love your spouse and your spouse has come to you and they're sharing their heart, they're saying like, hey, I need your help. I need you to help me out around the house, or can you help me out around the house? This is some things that I would like to, I need your help with, and you just don't do it. One, I went straight to like some type of medical issue. Maybe if they're older, maybe they just tired and got no energy. Maybe you need to change up what you eating, drink some more water, get some energy, drink some coffee, get some energy or something so you can do what you need to do around the house. Or I just think it has something to do with laziness. The person is just lazy and don't want to do it. But then at the same time, I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, because if you love that person, you want to help make their lives easier, and vice versa. You want to make it easy for the both of you guys. So why wouldn't you want to do something to make their life easy?
Well, let's say if it's laziness, and I don't believe that laziness starts maybe it does start after you get married, but I believe a lot of times these are things you might see but know beforehand.
Oh, so you ignoring red flags.
So if it was a red flag that this individual, a lot of people live together before they get married. So if these were things you saw initially before you said I do, and it was never addressed or talked about, that doesn't mean it's going to change once you get married. And again, so now that you're married now and you're in it, I think you need to feel safe to go to your spouse, your husband or your wife, and say to them, hey, you know, I need help. You know, I need help.
Can I share something personal?
You can.
Of course I can. This is our show. This is what we're supposed to be doing. So I don't know why, babe. I didn't even think about this, but as we were talking about it, just clicked in my mind, right? So y'all, when I met my husband, I told him just flat out like how I was. I'm like, look, I'm this and this and this, on this and this and maybe yes and all this other stuff. So we got married. The cleaning, you licking your lip?
Yeah.
So now we're married. Okay, y'all, I lived in the house with my grandmother for like the first few years of my life. When you raised with your grandma, do you make your grandkids clean up and stuff? No. So I wasn't cleaning up nothing. I had people clean up after me. And then I moved in with my other grandparents, and I still wasn't cleaning up. I mean, I had like very minor chores, but I guess I'm trying to say I was lazy and I wasn't cleaning up nothing. And I'm trying to tell the truth, shame the devil. So anyway.
Tell the truth.
I thought.
Because I got something to say.
I thought because I shared this with him that he was just going to accept it, and this is how it was. And I think it was in our first year of marriage, he came to me and he was like, you need to clean the hell up. I can't do this. Like, you need to pick up this stuff. Like, what's going? And I was upset. I was taken back because I'm like, I shared this with you before we got married, and I let you know how it was. You accepted me.
And you thought I was what?
What?
A clean freak?
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, you're just a clean.
OCD?
So, that's what I said about
Oh, you at one point in time, yeah.
I did not call you that, babe.
Well, she definitely thought I was a clean, like I was raised that way. So I'll let my wife.
Anyway, so whatever I said about him, I remember I only say sweet things about my husband, but OCD, clean freak. I was just like, we got kids. The house ain't supposed to be like all superb and stuff all the time. You know, I had a whole attitude and everything. And because I told you from the beginning that that's how it was, and he was like, so that means you can't change? That means you can't work on yourself? This is our house. Don't you want it to stay nice? I was like, I do. I want to. And I'm thinking like somebody else could do it. And he like, who else gonna do it? Like, we don't have no maids. We don't have all this stuff. Like, I'm gonna need you to get this, to get it clean. And now, let me say this. This is a time where I was a stay-at-home mom. So I was at home. I wasn't working at that time. So I'm at home all day, and my husband come home, and the house is dirty, and he looking like... like, what the hell? Like, you just been sitting here just... So, yeah, we had a whole situation about that. And you know what I had to do? I was offended. I was upset. All of that stuff. But you know, when he tells me stuff and it kind of just causes friction and rubs me the wrong way, I always take it back to God. And I would say, God, is there some truth in this? It didn't take God long to be like, girl, go clean up your house. Go do. And it wasn't like I wasn't cleaning, but it wasn't clean, if that even makes any sense. So we had to have those conversations. He had to share with me, like, this ain't it. Like, this is not working, and I need your help around the house. I need you to do these type of things so our house can be nice. And you know what I think the thing that really got me, though, was when you said that if we didn't take care of that, I wasn't going to get another house.
That was one thing, yeah.
He said that.
Because if you're going to go from, say, 1,300 square feet to 2,700 square feet, if 1,300 square feet was dirty, 2,700, and that wouldn't be cool.
Yeah, and so when he told me that kind of, it pierced my heart. And then I went to God and I was like, God, just help me. And
So this all had to do with getting another house?
Huh? No, babe, this didn't have nothing to do with getting another house. But there was some motivation, though, if I could be honest. And it did have me to think about if I wasn't able to manage that, how am I going to be able to manage a mansion? Now, I will have some maids and servants and all the other stuff.
And I
But
would
I
like
still,
that. I will.
but I still had to be able to manage it myself. So I'm sharing all my business to say we had to communicate he had to communicate with me in a way that I would be able to understand. I really didn't understand, but I took it back to prayer. So for this person who asked this question, I'm going to say, you got to go back to the manufacturer, baby. You go to God. You pray, and God will give you the right words. He'll give you what you need to have that conversation with your spouse, because you got to be able, y'all got each other's back. You got to be able to have this conversation with that person and let them know what it is that you need. Now, the caveat to that is, what if you do have that conversation and nothing changes?
And that's a good question right there. So having that conversation with that individual is going to call for you to, in a sense, confront that person, you know.
Oh, it was confrontational.
And I got super frustrated after a while. I did. Because I didn't grow up cleaning. I grew up pretty much with all women. Mama, grandmama, aunties, Auntie Marilyn, Auntie Linda, Marilyn is Pee-wee.
They cooking and cleaning.
They did everything for me. So when I moved out as an adult, 19, 20 years old, my kitchen was horrible. We had Marie counter boxes stacked up in our kitchen. Garbage can was full, you know. So moving forward, first house, when I got my first house, second house, when I bought the second house, I bought by myself. And the scripture that played in my mind, if you can be faithful over a little, I'll make you rule over much. I wanted God to know that I appreciated what he gave to me. So I wanted to take care of it. So if I expected God to give me more, to give me greater, to give me bigger, I wanted God to know, number one, I can take care of this right here first. And that came down with giving, you know, with everything. And again, I'm a man, since we're talking about supporting your wife and helping around the house, things like that. When I moved into the condo before I met her, I remember walking up the stairs, the brand new condo, I walked up the stairs, I purposely left the walls blank because the Lord told me then my wife's gonna decorate those walls. I walked up those stairs, I saw a child running down the hallway. That was Josiah.
He's still trying to get his butt to
And I didn't know that. He still runs. He still tries to run through this house here now, you know. And I want my wife and I want our children to appreciate what we had, you know. And so it was very, very tough trying to communicate that to my wife, you know, me being by myself for a while, me buying this condo, me taking care of it, and then inviting my new family into this house now, and it's not being taken care of. So in my mind, I'm thinking doesn't appreciate it, you know. And not that she doesn't appreciate it, it's just she wasn't used to cleaning that way and taking care of things. So, and again, when I say that she wasn't used to clean, I want her to clean, I clean too. So to that woman who's asking that question, I clean first and foremost for myself. I didn't grow up as a clean freak, no, or cleaning all the time. I wanted God to know that I appreciated what he gave to me. I wanted to discipline myself to take care of my things, you know. I wanted to just again, to show God that I appreciated it. And whoever came into my home, I wanted them to feel welcome, to feel loved. I didn't want the house just cleaned up when we had company over, you know. I want to come home to a clean house. Not just for the company, this is for me, this is for us. So I'm grateful today. My wife, she's still, you know, her closet is different than my closet, you know.
Wow. Y'all hear how my husband do me? Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation so far. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week for part 2. Y'all have a good one.